Hello, YouTube Nation. This is Brian with Vermillion Enterprises, January 21st, 2026, the day after the great flash sale here in the shop. A lot of people were asking me, how did the flash sale go? It went well. My hopes were that we were going to sell 1,000 ounces of generic rounds yesterday. We ended up selling somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000. Got cleaned out of 1 ounce silver rounds. Very happy about that. Thank you guys and gals out there in YouTube land. That was a surprise. I didn't think there was going to be that much desire to buy generic silver at that price point. But you know, given how high the price of silver is, we did it at a -3 delta. And that seemed to work. So I appreciate that, and cleaned out a bunch of inventory that was lingering, and that is very necessary in these times. And on that note, we're going to recover from yesterday, get restocked, reorganized, and then we'll plan on doing another flash sale. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day, but we're prepping to do another one, but we got to get all the odds and ends tied up from yesterday. All payments that were made in full yesterday, the product has been pulled and is going to be ready to ship today. We got staggered payments in from a few folks. That's no problem. We appreciate it. So, if you're paying by Zelle, sometimes you got to make multiple payments because Zelle has daily limits, for example. And that's okay. We don't mind that as all. As those payments come in full, we'll then process and package and ship those orders. All right, what else do I want to say? So, yep, plan is today. We got a bunch of mail in yesterday. We started working on it. I didn't get through it all, but the plan is to get all the drop-offs, which there's only 2 left from yesterday. That's awesome. To get finalized this morning before open, and then finish off the 4 or 5 packages that we got left to get those processed and get payment initiated on those for you guys and gals. So kind of a little state of the union there of what is going on. Yesterday was very chaotic, to say the least. All right, so what is going on in the industry right now as a whole? There is a huge liquidity crunch, hence the flash sale yesterday to move some product. To the point where some of our wholesalers, not some of them, but a lot of our wholesalers and trading partners that we rely on to move product has lowered their rate even on the payout of gold. We got those emails yesterday, not only lowering the rate that they're paying out on gold, but also the time that they are allowing for themselves to process and initiate payment has been extended. So lowering the rate on which they're paying me for the gold that we're sending them, and then also extending the time in which they will submit payment to us. And all being blamed on a liquidity crunch. They just, there's so much coming in, it's coming in so fast. The value is so high. Gold right now is $4,867. What is that? Up like $100 since yesterday. I mean, it's just it's just so much coming in right now. And then silver is at $94.93 right now, so almost $95 at the time of this video. And so the value of everything that's being submitted is just so much, and has increased so much in such a short period of time. And the volume in which they are experiencing from folks like myself across the country is intense. So they are just they're just getting crushed right now with material, and that has resulted into hopefully a short-term liquidity crunch. And yeah, so that's what we're facing as a industry right now. You don't have to worry about that here at Vermillion Enterprises. We are if we take in a deal, initiate payment, you slam that check. We got a bunch of open checks right now, guys, that we have issued payment to. Please cash those checks. I mean, there's some going back to December. Yeah, get those checks in the bank, please. Slam those checks. If we write you a check, slam it. Get it in the bank. All right. Deals. Let's see. I got my notes here. Some of the wholesalers have now been turning away deals. So specifically centered around Junk 90. What is going on with Junk 90 right now? Junk 90 is being processed and paid in a timely manner as anything else, but oh my God, are they being critical about it. Here's what Junk 90 has to be right now, folks, and this is categorically the case, and they are literally, wholesalers and refineries are turning away Junk 90 that is not perfect. So what does it have to be? Junk 90 has to be 1964 and before. It cannot include the 90s and 2000s and 2010s silver proof quarters, silver proof halves, dimes. It cannot include that. If it does include that, even if it's just a couple pieces, it's being turned away. All right. It cannot include slick standing Liberty quarters or walking Liberty half dollars or mangled coins. It has to be this average circulated condition. It can't be mangled. It has to be able to run through a coin counter. These are some of the terms. There are wholesalers that if they receive bags that are contaminated with those types of items, they are returning them. All right, just outright refusing them and returning the bag. So please, if you want to sell Junk 90, make sure it is straight up 1964 and before. Make sure that there are no slick standing Liberty quarters in there. Make sure there are no slick walking Liberty halves or mangled coins, please. If so, it's just the orders can be refused. All right, so just please make sure if you have Kennedy half dollars, they are 1964 Kennedy halves. Please make sure there are no 40% Kennedys or clad Kennedys mixed in, even if it's by accident. But please make sure that's all sorted and properly identified first. All right. Okay, I'm being asked all the time, what about alloy silver? What's the deal with sterling silver? When are they turning sterling silver back on? I think the smaller operating entities are done with sterling silver, at least for 2026. I really do believe that. It may be just that they're done, period. If we specifically do not see a pullback in the glut of material coming in anytime soon. So, but I did find one outfit. It is it's a foundation in industry willing to take alloyed silver from us. Here are their terms. This just tells you where we're at as in the industry. I want to just share this with you. One, the order has to be 5,000 payable ounces. So 5,000 ounces of actual silver weight. Now, if you're talking sterling silver, you got to remember sterling silver is 92.5% silver. So 100 ounces of sterling silver is not 100 ounces of silver. So we have to keep that in mind when we're submitting. So 5,000 actual payable ounces of silver is the minimum order for them to process. So what is that? 5,000 times, this will say $95 per ounce. So you're talking about just under $500,000 worth of silver for a minimum order. And why is that? Well, that's basically to just eliminate people that are wanting to submit small orders. They don't want a bunch of little orders. They don't have the time, they don't have the manpower, they don't have the workforce to process that. They want one big order, get it all together, let's do it. They don't want a bunch of people sending in 5,000 ounces, a couple flatware sets. They don't want that. They can't handle that. What they want is they rather have one order from one person rather than 50 orders from 50 different people. I get it. It's a manpower issue. It's a time crunch. It's just an administrative decision that it makes sense for them. All right, so here it gets interesting though. So 5,000 payable ounces. Okay, that's one term. Second term, whatever the payable ounces are, it's a $1 per ounce charge. So if you send in 5,000 payable ounces, right off the top, they're taking $5,000 just for doing the deal. Just for doing the deal, $5,000. All right. What do you think about on $500,000? So just under $500,000. Okay, we can live with that. Now, the melts must be greater than 88%. So there can't be any schlock in there. It has to be really it's got to be high purity silver. There can't be a bunch of bad low grade foreign world coins, for example. Like you can't have a bunch of 80% Canadian stuff in there. You can't have a bunch of that 72% Mexican coinage in there. You can't have it. Sterling silver jewelry creates a problem here too, because a lot of that material does not melt at 925. It melts in the 60s, 70s, 80s. It's a lot of junk silver in that sterling silver jewelry. That's why largely we do not take it. And so yeah, so the melt has to be above 88%. So if we send some in, we're going to have to make sure that we throw a bunch of 999 in there just to make sure that our amount is greater than 88%, or our payout is greater than 88%. Now, what are they actually going to pay us in a rate? So whatever the value is of the silver after it's assayed, they're going to pay us 93%, which I think is fair. That's actually pretty good. But you can see the seriousness of putting a deal together like this. So if you have 5,000 payable ounces, you're talking a 100,000 pennyweight of silver. So 100,000 pennyweight of silver, right? So let's just make sure I'm doing the math. Yeah. So 100,000 pennyweight of silver in the form of scrap is like 120,000 pennyweight of actual scrap material. So you're talking really, you got to send them 5,500 ounces of material or 6,000 ounces of material just to make sure. And if you're sending in 500 ounce boxes, you know, that's 12 boxes right there. You want to make sure it gets there secure. The manpower that it's going to take to put those boxes together, the time it's going to take, it's an issue. This is why a lot of people are turning away alloyed silver, mixed silver right now. So, because it is not fun to deal with at this point, and there's very limited places to submit for payment. Now, these guys, here's the one thing that is good about these guys. It's like a 2 to 3 week turnaround once they get the material, where some other places I've looked at that are accepting orders, they're saying it's a 2 to 3 month turnaround, whereas these guys are saying it's a 2 to 3 week turnaround once they get all the material in-house. So that's interesting. I'm going to have to think about the logistics of this and how we're going to actually be able to do this type of transaction, how it makes sense for us, and move forward there. But that's the deal with sterling silver. It sucks right now. And not just sterling silver, mixed alloyed silver. So they that really kind of puts the death nail, if you will, into the world alloyed silver coinage, the low grade stuff, because it really, you have to be above 88% to melt, and that's interesting. They just don't want that low grade silver gumming up the system, I guess. So all right, that's what I wanted to say today. No premiums update, no inventory update, just kind of giving you guys a rundown of what's going on, what has gone on, what we're looking at. So major liquidity issues right now in the industry, slower payouts from the big boys and girls out there, lower payouts from the big boys and girls out there, and sterling silver, mixed alloy silver, low grade silver, whatever you want to call it, is still a nightmare, and I think it will be for the entire time of 2026 going into 2027. Yes, and what else? Okay, let's talk about one thing real quick that helps out when you come into the shop. All right, when you come on into the shop, and let's say you want to bring in mixed coinage, right, which is a large part of what we do here, please have all your dimes out of tubes, out of wrappers, have them all in one bag. Make sure they're all 1964 and before. Same with your quarters, same with your halves, all individually in individual bags by denomination, and separated from all their containers. So we just want to run them right through the machine. Same with your silver dollars. Make sure they're all out of the 2x2s and the flips and the capsules. And it'll make the processing and your time here a lot shorter, and get you guys in and get you guys on your way much faster. When you come in, if you want to purchase material and you're going to use cash, which we obviously prefer, please know which cash you're bringing in before you come in, so you don't have to count it into the shop. You can be like, you come in, you're like, okay, I know I got $10,000 in my envelope here or my bag, whatever it may be, and you work up the numbers. Like, all right, here's $10,000. The order's for $9,342. Boom, here's 10. We give you your change back, and it's really that way. Coming in and then counting out the cash just kind of slows out the process. So when you come in, just make sure you already know how much cash you got in your hand, in your wallet, in your purse, whatever it may be, and that'll expedite your time here in the shop. And it's crazy busy, guys. We have, I would say, a third to a half of the day, legitimately, especially when we open. And of course, after 3 o'clock, there's a line, and a line to the door. And it's not just a line of people, we also got a line of drop-off packages, mail-ins, checks to be processed. So even if there's not a line of people, there's a line of orders that have to be taken care of. And so just understand, we want to get you in and out as fast as we possibly can. And it's for your benefit too, to expedite your time here in the shop. Also, one thing happened again yesterday. We made sure that the situation was fine, but lady came in and she was buying some generic silver. And of course, we're all sociable people, sociable creatures. We want to talk and have fun and carouse with each other, which I totally get. But at the same time, there were some other fellas in the shop she didn't know, and I was like, I completed her transaction, had her wait behind while we completed the fellas' transactions, got them going, and then made sure that we walked her out at the for her own security, and explained the situation to her. It's like, look, you don't know who you're talking to in the shop, and it's not just this shop, it's any shop anywhere. All right, people can see what you're transacting in, so just keep to yourself. Don't talk about what you're doing, don't talk about what you got at home, don't talk about your plans, your cash, anything. Just come on in, do your transaction, move along. It's nobody else's business but your own. It's not even my business. We're just here to help facilitate the trade. All right, so please just think about your own personal security whenever you go into a coin shop, a pawn shop, a bank, a jewelry store. It's not just this one. Anyone, anywhere in the world. All right, you don't know who's listening. You don't know who's watching. Okay, folks. So just think about that. And when the fellas left, and I was explaining it to the female customer, she's like, "Oh my God, I feel so dumb. I didn't even think about that." I was like, "Don't worry about it. I got you covered." I'm reading the room. I know what's going on here. I walked her out, made sure she got in her car and took off okay. No problems there. That's what we're here for. But just understand that when you come into a place of business like this, and really any place of business, it's your business. It's no one else's business. Just do your business and do your transaction and go home. And that's really it. Or go on to your next place. This is not a place to be sociable and to discuss what you're doing with other folks that are complete strangers. All right, guys and gals. Uncle Brian will get off his soapbox here and get you guys and gals going. I get asked all the time what's going on with sterling silver, so I want to update you with that and what is going on logistically here in the shop. So hopefully this helps and is interesting and entertaining for some of you. Remember, everything on YouTube is for entertainment purposes only. You guys and gals have a great day. We'll talk with you later. Thank you.